Your first comic of the night, I won't count myself, your first comic of the night has performed at all the major clubs, Caroline's in their parking lots. Please welcome Marc Hohenstein to the stage.
Speaking of another Jew. So it's Friday night, last night was Friday night in Shabbos, you know, it's Jewish Sabbath. And Mrs. Gold is talking to Mrs. Silver, and she says, "Good Shabbos, Mrs. Gold." She says, "Good Shabbos, Mrs. Silver." She says, "Isn't it a lovely night for Shabbos?" And Mrs. Gold says, "Yes, except every Friday night my husband brings me home flowers." And Mrs. Silver says, "What's so wrong with that?" And Mrs. Gold says, "Well, when he does, he expects me to spread my legs." And Mrs. Silver says, "What? You don't have a vase?" My name's Marc Hohenstein. I'm half Polish Jew, half German Aryan. Someday I'm going to conquer myself. My mother was Jewish. My father's full name was Adolf van Kurt von Hohenstein. For 40 years, my mother slept with one eye open. You know, for a while I lived in California, and I loved California. I didn't want to complain. I had to complain. I'm from New York. There's a few things I don't understand about California. I'll never understand why they called it the Golden State, because when I was out there, I only met two. Ruth, who lived in Encino, and Harry Golden on Fairfax Avenue. When I first moved out to California, I moved to Hermosa Beach, and everybody down there wears these mirrored sunglasses. You ever talk to anyone wearing mirrored sunglasses? It's like having a conversation with a toaster. So I moved out of Hermosa Beach, I moved to Hollywood, but Hollywood didn't remind me that much of New York. Didn't have enough crime. So I moved to Venice. I like Venice. No mudslides, no earthquakes, no brush fires, just crime. My girlfriend had her laundry stolen, but she didn't report it because she felt whoever took it probably needed it to keep warm during the winter. Well, maybe so, but every time I see that homeless guy in her black lace teddy, I don't think it did him any good. But my roommate had this German Shepherd. It was a huge dog with a big nose, and he didn't bite women, he only bit men. What he would do with the women, he'd sniff. I'm not going to tell you where, but this dog had more girlfriends than Warren Beatty. I come home one day, I don't see the dog, I figure it's safe. I open the door to my apartment, there's my girlfriend in the robe, and the dog is on the couch smoking a cigarette. Yeah, you may find this hard to believe, but you know, I have a tough time meeting the right girl.
No.
Yes! Yes, I do. I went out with this girl for 5 years, I paid for everything. I paid for dinner, drinks, dancing, tolls, parking, excise taxes. 5 years later, she leaves me. I said, "What did I do wrong?" She said, "Mark, you can't save any money." I finally met a girl who was just my type. She was warm, she was charming, she was feminine. I said to her, "You're just my type." She said to me, "You're a lesbian?" I was hoping for something easy, you know, so I went out with this one girl they set me up with. They said, "Boy, this girl likes to party." So I take her out, we go to a restaurant, and we have a drink, and she downs the drink just like that. I think, this looks good. I buy her another drink, she downs it just like that. And then she says to me, "You know," she said, "I used to be real wild." I said, "Really?" She says, "Yeah, but I've been liberated now." That's funny, I got liberated at the same time I left her the check. You know, one time I remember in the old Soviet Union, you might like this, you're half Russian. The old Soviet Union, everybody's out there waiting for the meat train to come in Moscow. And it's starting to snow, it's January, and the head commissar comes out after a couple hours, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, they've been out there since 5, and the head commissar comes out, he says, "The meat train's going to be a little shorter than we thought it was. All the Jews go home." So all the Jews go home. Another couple hours go by, the head commissar comes out and he says, "The meat train's going to be later than we thought. All the Armenians go home." So all the Armenians go home. So finally hours go by and it's starting to snow. The snow is coming up to their ankles. The head commissar comes out every couple hours. The meat train's going to be shorter. The train's going to be later. All the non-Muscovites can go home. Anyone who isn't a party member can go home. Anyone who doesn't have a medal, they used to give a lot of medals out in the Soviet Union all the time to everybody. Or anybody who doesn't have a medal can go home. So finally the head commissar, so only the Muscovite party medals are left out there. And the head commissar comes out and he says, the meat train's not coming at all today. You can all go home. So finally the one Muscovite party member with a medal turns to his friend, the other Muscovite party member with the medal, and he goes, goddamn Jews always get the best meat. There was a snake and this bunny, and they were just born, and neither of them knew what each other was. So the bunny says, well, excuse me, but what are you? And the snake says, I don't know, I was just born, what are you? And the bunny says, I don't know. Bunny says, why don't you wrap yourself around me, tell me what I am. So the snake wraps himself around the bunny, and he says, well, you've got long ears, and you've got a furry coat, and you have pads on your feet, and you have big hind legs. He says, you must be a bunny. And he says, I must be because I hop around a lot. And the snake says, now you tell me what I am. So the bunny strokes the snake and he says, well, you're cold and you have scales, you slither on the ground, you have a forked tongue, you must be an attorney.